Hey Emily, how you doing? Thank you for coming in, honey. Yeah, it's me. I came back. I got a special thing today that I think a lot of people are gonna enjoy, even more than past ones or whatever. Um, Being a collector, I know I'm a metalhead, true and to no end. But me and Mrs. Metalhead, we collect a lot of different things, not only metal things like that. We also collect obscure things. Mrs. Metalhead is a huge fan of Disney movies. Huge fan of Disney. As am I. There's some movies by Disney that I absolutely love to watch. Nightmare Before Christmas, James and the Giant Peach, Monsters Inc. I love. um, I also got. I also started collecting vinyl over the past couple years. Um, I got a bunch of stuff that I want to show off, and there's some things that I got the other day that I think are going to bring people back in time. So I'm gonna let couple people. I'm gonna let chat fill up a little bit more, and then I'm gonna start doing it. Hey, Mrs. Miller, thanks for coming in. I know you're busy down there. I was just telling Emily. I was just telling Emily that we're big collectors, not only of metal stuff, but obscure things. And you being big into Disney. Hey, Leah, thank you for coming in. Treating, thank you for coming in. How you guys doing? Treating and Leela. I was just telling Emily. Um, yes, I'm a metalhead, as you guys know. To, to no end. But me and Mrs. Metalhead, especially Mrs. Metalhead, loves Disney movies. Um, and we like collecting, not only CDs and things, metal, things primarily metal, but other things. Um, we recently started getting back into vinyl. Now, vinyl's an expensive thing to collect, but that's why you got to know where to go. Certain shops that are fairly priced and good priced. Um, I don't know where the card went. Shoot, where'd it go? I had it. I don't know where it went. Oh, duh. This past Saturday, I put up a video from Newburgh Vintage Emporium. Treating, you might know of it. It's right here in Newburgh. It's an old antique place, and they have the indoor outdoor flea market. And there's also a location. They have two other locations that are like 10 minutes apart from one another. And they have a bigger warehouse of stuff. That's it. Oh, it's too. Wow, this thing is bright. I think it's too bright now. What the hell's going on? Ah, what is going on? Hold on, guys. Hold on. God damn it. Fuck. Son of a bitch. Joy of live streaming, I'll tell you that much. Now it's too bright. Now it's too dark. Are you fucking kidding me? Sorry. There. That should be better. God damn it. Yeah, I know it's metal. I know. Getting aggravated. All right. That's Newburgh Vintage Emporium. It's right here. Not too far from us. And from Treat for that matter. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having issues right now. I'm not too happy right now. Yeah, I know. Anyways, um, we've been collecting recently over the past couple of years or so. We've been getting back into collecting vinyl. I don't know why this camera's not. Oh God, this is not gonna be a good day for me. Anyways, we've been getting back into collecting vinyl, obscure things, things that are reissued. Like I said, Mrs. Metal is a huge, huge Disney fan. Adrian, thank you for coming in. Good to see you. Adrian, I'll do a quick thing again. Everybody knows I'm a metalhead, true and true. I collect things, metal, but not only metal. We both love Disney movies and older stuff. Newburgh Vintage Emporium, the video I put up the other day, they have a ton of vinyl, and I mean a ton. I was in love with this place. I didn't want to leave. Mary, I think her name is, or Maria, I got special permission from her to go there to live stream. Once I get the gimbals all set up and everything, we will be going back there. They have a couple other locations that are close to them. I'm also going to be going to a friend of mine's shop down the street from me named Rock Fantasy. They have vinyl in there, metal, pop, you name it. They're also a pinball machine place. They have pinball tournaments in this place. Also, they have things you get for your CBD and the whole 9 yards. It's a great place. The dude Steve is absolute great guy. He's a friend of ours. Din, welcome in. Thank you for coming in. I'm having a little issues today. I'm getting frustrated big time right now. But anyways, I want to get this started. We went there Saturday, and like I said, the lady's name is either Mary or Maria, something like that. Before I did my video there, I asked her if I could live stream. She was shocked that somebody actually asked, because I guess there's people that come in there and they just want to live stream. I'm not like that. I'll ask, the owner of the place before I do anything. That's why I'm pretty sure I could do it at my friend Steve's shop. I'm going to call him up probably this week. I'm going to call him up and ask him. And the place, Newburgh Vintage Emporium, said I could come in there, and live stream. They're on YouTube. If you want, give them a follow. They don't have much on their page, but they have some. I think they have a few shorts up and a couple other things. Newburgh Vintage Emporium. It's right here in Newburgh. It's literally maybe 10 minutes from our house, if that. They have an indoor-outdoor flea market. They don't only have music. They have a bunch of stuff. I mean, antiques, clothes, everything in this place. They have like 2 or 3 locations that are like within 2-3 minutes, actually about 5 minutes from each other. When we went there, I went right to the back wall with all their music. And I said, Mr. Miller, I'm going to do something. And she said, do it. So I started just doing it, and I was in love with this place. I mean, I was seeing things I haven't seen in years on vinyl, from the 50s, hell, things from the 40s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and current. Vast collection. I'm definitely going to go back there and spend a couple hours in there live, just going through things. Like I said, I did a video on here Saturday. I put it up. Okay, I want to get started. Two of the things that I got, which we got a bunch. I got a couple CDs. Oh, I got a few CDs, but these two stood out for me. I got the original 1965 Help by the Beatles on Parlophone Records. The original from 65. I don't know what is going on today with this. It's ticking me off. This is the original one. Mint condition. The CD has no scratches, no divots. No, it's not warped. The artwork, it just has its normal yearly, normal old, tightness of it. Not warped. No damage to it whatsoever. But the original Beatles Help 65 on CD. The original. Yes, first pressing of it. I saw this. I did Adultic. I'm like, what? I quickly I'm not saying how much I got it for. Let me just say it's a steal. A steal. And then I think this one is a reissue. Monty Python Live at City Center. This came out. No, this is original. This came out in '76. I love Monty Python. I love Monty Python. This album is a trip. It's a Monty Python Live at City Center. If anybody's into Monty Python, grab this. It's it's hilarious. Now, for the things that I've been wanting to show people. All right. Yeah, I'll do those first. Yeah. All right. Me and Mrs. Metalhead are huge Disney fans. A lot, her. But I love some Disney movies. This one, Patrick, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Welcome in. Thank you. Patrick, this is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be a little bit different. Real quick, Patrick. The original Beatles, Help, 1965. I got this for a steal Saturday. Also, Monty Python, originals from 76, live at City Center. All right? And I'm sure you guys seen the title. It's going to be different. This is going to be different for a lot of people. All right. So my favorite movies from Disney is Tim Burton. I love Tim Burton, hands down. My favorite movie by him, Nightmare Before Christmas. Me and Mrs. Metalhead love this movie. We watch it year round. We found this about 2 years ago. Nightmare Before Christmas, double disc, 2 disc, dual picture disc. Okay, hold on. Oh, shit. Stay. That's side 1 of the first disc. That's side 2 of the first vinyl disc. Hey, Cleo, welcome in. Thank you for coming in. Hey, that's disc 1. This is disc 2. Picture disc. That's side 1. That's side 2. I love this movie. My favorite character is Oogie. I love Oogie. I got his ornament. I got something else by him, a couple other things that Miss Miller had found. But we are big collectors. I love getting things like this. This I also ordered the cover for it to keep it nice and clean. No dirt can get into it. I got those coming. Also, to go along with this, got the original Vitamin String Quartet performing the Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack. Unopened. Not opened at all. That's the original soundtrack from Nightmare Before Christmas. This came out. It originally came out in 2008. This version is from 2019. This is the third series of it. Unopened. It's a yellow vinyl inside. If you go on, I'm sure if you go on eBay or anywhere, even here, it'll show you it. I'm not opening it. It's staying sealed. Hey, Two Intact, welcome in. Thank you. Yeah, this is unopened. This is the original soundtrack from that Disney movie. Like I said, vinyl is a very, very expensive thing to collect. If you know where to go, you can find things for relatively good price, whether it's first edition or second or even a reissue of it. Yeah, Patrick, same here. I've been I've been into Tim Burton stuff for a while. I mean, I got two daughters, and well, I mean they're both older now, and me and Mrs. Metal have been into him forever. I think like my favorite movie by him is definitely either Night Before Christmas or is that other one he did, James and the Giant Peach, I think it is, or something like that. To Attack, I know that. Trust me, I'm a collector. I don't things like this I won't sell. Um, there are people out there that jack the prices up on them. Um, it's not right because a lot of people don't know what they have. They just see something good and they flip it. I've seen it too many times. I've seen people go into record store day where it's they have records for good price and they'll just grab things. Yeah, Coraline's the other one. Yeah, I love Coraline with the eyes. Pop. Getting back, I was saying on record store day, you see people going in and just grabbing stuff, because they have them marked down. These people will go to expos or record shows, tape shows, and you'll see the same ones that they bought for $6, $7, $8, $9, $10, and they'll end up selling them for $30 or $40. And all they do is buy the film, seal it, and tag it and say it's theirs, and it's not. I've seen it way too many times. Yeah, they're great movies. Um, One of the things that I love, Mrs. Metalhead found these. Um, One of my favorite movies of all time, and I'm sure all of us in here have seen this movie growing up. I thought it was a shame that they took it off TV a couple years ago, but they put it back on. This is the original Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown soundtrack. Pumpkin vinyl, unopened, two-sided, limited edition pumpkin shaped. Yes, I will not open this. I will not play this. It's valuable. I've had Mrs. Metalhead found this at one of the places that we used to go to down in Texas. Great. Like growing up, this is what we listened to growing up. Why they took it off TV, off CBS when they did, I thought it was dumb. I thought it was an atrocity. I remember when they said they weren't going to show it no more, I quickly went out and I found all the Charlie Brown movies on DVD, all of them. And I quickly got them from Mrs. Metalhead. We got them in our DVD room. But definitely, things like this are, great to have. For me, it's, remembering my childhood, like when I was little, watching it on CBS every, Halloween. I think it might be on Freeform now. I'm not sure, but it's not. It's supposed to be coming back on CBS. It might be on Freeform or even Paramount, maybe, because Paramount owns CBS, or Paramount is part of CBS or something like that. But definitely, Charlie Brown. There's Charlie Brown, the Great Pumpkin, the original soundtrack. This one's going to take a lot of people back to when they were little. Mrs. Metalhead found this. Mrs. Metalhead is a huge fan of this cartoon. Anybody remember Fraggle Rock? That's the original soundtrack for that. Front and back. It comes with the original theme. 1, 2, 3, 4. It has like 6 songs on this. It also comes with the starting song and also the song that ends the show. Picture disc called Fraggle Rock On. This came back out on Record Store Day. This is Apple TV original series soundtrack of it by Jim Henson. But yeah, it's like I said, I'm a collector, and when it comes to collecting, if I see something that I know is great to have, I'm going to grab it. And no, I don't I will not resell it. I make sure it's taken care of, sealed. Like I said, I got a bunch of the plastic papers coming for it. Definitely, these are things you can't pass up. Yeah, my sister used to watch it all the time. My baby cousins used to watch it all the time. I think I watched it a couple episodes. But yeah, it was, for kids, that was like the thing in the 80s. You just turned on, I think it was like channel 2. Well, first it was CBS. CBS, I think PBS back then also had it on. But that's definitely something to have. The next one I thought was cool. Mrs. Metalhead found this. I thought it was absolutely awesome. The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, original soundtrack for that movie. Crystal Chamber picture disc. This is from the Netflix series. Dual-sided picture disc. That's on side B. That's side A. Very, very hard to find. If you find this, get it, because chances are they're going to start jacking prices up. These things are insanely to have. Hey, Sunshine, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. But definitely, Mrs. Metalhead's like a big collector of this stuff. I told her, get it. It's still sealed, clean, nothing can get in, not warped, mint condition. Also, another one with David Bowie. This is a reissue. It's on I think it's a rainbow type vinyl, first edition. I'm sorry. Limited edition, Labyrinth with David Bowie in it. The original soundtrack for that. Again, unopened, never played. These are things that a lot of people see and they want, because they will turn around and they'll sell it for triple the price. I don't remember how much we got these for, but it was a fairly good price. So definitely one, a lot of nostalgia. A lot of nostalgia. Okay. Another one. A Boy Named Charlie Brown. This is the baseball card edition. I haven't opened this. I'm not gonna. It has all. It's remastered in all analog, which I love. Analog. I love way better digital. Way better digital. But it has. It's basically the entire soundtrack from that. I think it was like 1972. This was reissued in 2021 for Record Store Day only. That's the only time it would come out. If you go on eBay and see this, it's probably going for a very, very pretty penny. Next one. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. I got an eBay bid going. Sorry, Mrs. Metalhead. Next one. The original Charlie Brown Christmas soundtrack on vinyl. Unopened, untouched. It's, if you guys can see it right there. It's the Candy Cane Splash vinyl. It's white with red specks all over it. It's supposed to be like a candy cane. But that is the original. Yeah, I know. I know. I try not to. Sorry, Adriana. But that's the original soundtrack. This came out again in 72. It was remastered in 88. This was a special for Record Store Day. Like I said, it has all the songs from that cartoon. O Tannenbaum, What a Child Is, My Little Drum, Linus and Lucy, Christmas is Here. The Christmas song, Heart to Angels, that's all sung by them. This is, like I said, this guy right here, Vince, I think his name is Giraldi. I think that's how you pronounce it. His trio does all of these. I believe that they have reissued all their stuff for just Record Store Day, which came out. We got this in 2021, like when it first came out. But definitely, like I said, I collect a lot of different things, not only metal based, a lot of different things. That's the part of being a collector. You'll go somewhere, if we go somewhere and I see something, I'm gonna get locked in on it. That's part of being collecting. All right, Shane, what do you go to Walmart for? I thought you were a dollar store girl. Or Dollar Tree, either one. Sorry. Let me treat it. Be safe out there. All right, another one that Mrs. Metalhead found. Disney's Little Mermaid 30th anniversary of this movie, original soundtrack. This 30-year anniversary of this movie. I ripped it. I snagged it on something, but it's not opened, never played. Trying to think. All right, yeah, this came out 2000. This came out in 88, the original one. First production of this was 2019. But that's 30-year anniversary of this. Mrs. Metalhead finds things that I don't even see. I'll be looking at something totally different. She'll come back with a whole handful of things. And yeah, treating. Yeah. But definitely, she'll come by with a whole bunch of different things and just show it to me. I'm just like, wow. A lot of things are one-offs, things that are generally not available. As a lot of people know, Walt Disney locked up a lot of their stuff in their vault. That it's still locked. They have been reissuing a lot of those Disney movies, but to have the originals is something special. To have something like this, yeah, I get it, and I won't open it. If Mrs. Metalhead wants to, I have my turntable right here, but I don't think she wants to chance it. Another one that she found, another Disney one. I think I'm pronouncing this right. Encanto, Encanto. If you guys know the name, you know what I'm talking about. This is the soundtrack to that cartoon movie. Unopened, brand new, not touched. Trying to think, is this the? Yeah, this is the complete soundtrack to that movie. Yeah, that's the name. I can't pronounce it. Basically, yeah. Yeah, basically, you can say I got my own vault. Yeah. Soon I'll put an alarm on my door. I mean, we got a house alarm already, but the door could be helped too. But definitely, anything Disney is just great to have. Absolutely. Encanto, or yeah, right? Yeah, right there. I said it right. Encanto. Yeah, Adrian, She found this. She could probably tell you where we got it. I don't remember. It might have been. We used to go like three or four main places down there. So she can probably tell you where we got it from. Yeah, I lost it. Damn. Sorry, I'm watching a bit on eBay that something I really want. And I think I just lost it. Yeah. Anyways, okay. I got a bunch more. I told Miss Millhead I was gonna do it. She's like, go. Okay. I'm sure this song for this movie drove me nuts. Okay. When my daughters, and I'm sure Miss Miller can tell you the same thing with her daughter, my stepdaughter. This song from this movie drove me nuts to the point where I didn't want to even hear it anymore. For all you ladies that, Frozen soundtrack, unopened, picture disc. That's the front. That's side A. That's side B. Thank you. That song, I couldn't stand that song. God, I couldn't stand that song. But this has everything on there. Every song that was in that movie is on here. This is Frozen 1. That's Frozen 2 soundtrack. Again, it's a picture disc, front and back. I guess it has all the songs that were on there performed by Kristen Bell, Idina Menzel, Josh Gad, Jonathan Groff, and many others. And trying to see who else is on here. Yeah, it's basically the same people just doing different songs. I think it's pretty cool to have. Like I said, we're not going to open it unless she wants to. But yeah, I know when people hear Metalhead and they see this stuff, they're like, what are you collecting? What? Being a metalhead doesn't mean you're just in on the one. For me, it's all types of music. Metal, hard rock, thrash, things like that, which I have a whole stack. But then you find things that are obscure, and anything with Disney on it, it's great to have, whether you open it or not. I don't want to open them. I want to leave them like that. She will kill me if I ever sold them. But I think if the price is right, she won't say anything. I personally will not part with them. I'll leave that up to her, like I do with a lot of things. If she says do it for a certain price, I'll handle it my way and talk to the buyer. But I don't think she's going to want to sell them. There's no way. Yeah. then yeah. There was a back in the 90s, early 2000s or something like that. There was compilations. It was called Bad Boy Rock. It was ballads by metal bands, and their thing was every bad boy has a soft side. So yeah, everybody gets that different impression about metalheads. There's always, like I said, there's always two sides to everybody. You'd be the biggest tough guy in the world, but be the biggest teddy bear on the, So, yeah, I think everybody has that soft side. Whether they want to admit it or not. No, you will not rewrite that. No, that's another song. That Rebuild a Snowman or whatever. Yeah, that song. No, That's another song I could do without, especially around Christmas time. There's a couple other songs that I could really do without, but that's one of them right there. No. You can build a snowman, just don't sing it. No. Angie, thank you for coming in. Okay. Shoot, Ange, I'm gonna do a quick. Have you seen Ange? How far did you see him? I'll do a quick rewind. A couple things. You're not building a snowman. Don't start. I'm not. Nah. Okay, Ange, real quick. I'll do a quick rewind. I'm sure these ladies won't mind. All right, Ange. Me and Mrs. Metalhead are huge Disney fans. I love uh, Tim Burton. I love his movies. Always have. We collect different things, especially vinyl. I found we found this a couple of years ago. Double disc vinyl. Nightmare for Elm Street. There you go. Nightmare Before Christmas. Picture disc. That's the front of disc one. That's the back of disc one. RT, how you doing, brother? Don't start singing at you. Don't start. And that's this. That's disc two. That's A side, disc two. That's disc two, B side. And yes, like I was saying before, my favorite character in this movie is Oogie. I love Oogie. Mrs. Miller can tell you, I love Oogie. Where's the other ones? Oh shit. Ange, Dark Crystal. I'm sure you remember that back in the day. The double vinyl picture disc, original soundtrack. That's side A. That's side B. I love Disney movies, especially the soundtracks. If anybody Disney's out there, you want to pick it up because like I was just saying, people will flip out. They will buy it and they will flip it for twice the amount or 3 times the amount. I've seen it done too many times, especially Disney stuff. But yeah, Ange, she found this probably like 2019, 2020, something like that, at a record store day. And it was fairly priced. It really, really was. All right, hold on. Ange, the original Labyrinth with David Bowie soundtrack, unopened. Not touched, not opened. Mint condition. 180 gram. It's like a yellow type vinyl. Unopened. I won't open them. All right. Oops. And I'm gonna do these both at one time. Boy and Charlie Brown, original soundtrack. It's the baseball card edition. I mean, I think the vinyl is. I think the vinyl is like shit like a baseball card, or has the design on it. Unopened. Came out in 1972. We got this was reissued for Record Store Day in 2021. Also, a Charlie Brown Christmas by the same composer. Unopened, sealed, unopened. Um, oh, Ange, that's the quartet that does the original soundtrack to Nightmare Before Christmas, unopened. It has all the songs from Nightmare Before Christmas. This is a yellow wax vinyl. It also comes with a download card, which I will not use. Like I said, if Mrs. Metalhead wants to open these, it's up to her. I won't open them because they're too valuable. And the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown soundtrack. Limited edition, collector's edition, pumpkin-shaped vinyl. Unopened, unplayed. I think Miss Miller might have played this one time. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's partly open because of the tape came off. Collector's edition, pumpkin vinyl, extremely rare, hard to get. Yes, Ange, it is. Like I was telling them, when Ange, you remember growing up around Thanksgiving or Halloween, they would show the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, and then it's Halloween Charlie Brown. When they said that they were going to take them off the air, that they weren't going to show them no more, I ran out. Yeah, I know they, but there was a time a couple years ago they were not going to show them. They were going to stop showing them on CBS. I ran out and I found Mrs. Metalhead, all the Charlie Brown movies, and I mean all of them. Great Pumpkin, it's Halloween Charlie Brown, the Thanksgiving Charlie Brown, the Easter Charlie Brown, the Christmas Charlie Brown, all of them. And I mean, I found them all. Then they turn around and last year, or year before, whatever, now they're going to put them back on. But I think it's only going to be available on Paramount, which owns CBS. If not, it'll be back on CBS. But there was about taking off Rudolph too and Frosty, which caught me off guard. I'm like, you can't take off those movies. That's iconic childhood stuff. I mean, we have the original on DVD. What are you guys talking about? Hold on, stop. Wait a minute. I know and I want to play them, but I don't. Because they're so hard to find. Like I said, if you go on eBay, you'll see people selling them for 5 times the amount, and I mean jacked up prices. Right when they were gonna take them off the air, off CBS, I went on eBay just to see. The day they said it, eBay exploded with them, and I mean exploded with all the Charlie Brown movies, Rudolph, Frosty, the Heat Miser, Jack Frost, all of them. They exploded with them. Santa Claus is coming to town, things like that. The original ones, they exploded with them on eBay. People were selling them for like 10, 20 times the amount that they paid for them. I saw the combination pack that we have going for I think we paid like $30 for it at the time. I seen that same pack on eBay going for $650, a starting bid. It was just mind blowing to me. Yeah, and we have that one. That's one of my favorite movies. Christmas. Miss Middle will tell you, we love Halloween. Halloween, I guess, watch movies all day. But Christmas, especially when it gets nice and chilly out, I pull out the old movies. And I mean the original Christmas Carol from 1938 and all the Christmas carols that they remade up till now. But yeah, we have all the movies, that I made sure, she had them. Oh. And what's this one? That's an old one. And Frozen 2, original soundtrack, and Frozen 1, the original. Both soundtracks are unopened. And yes, I can't stand the songs on them. Oh my God. These songs drove me nuts for a few years. But yeah, both are picture discs too. That's the front, that's the back. And then I believe that picture is on both sides of this soundtrack for Frozen 2. Yeah, but almost all the Disney soundtracks were reissued in 2021 for Record Store Day only. I know there's reboots of them out there. I've seen them, but these were especially for Record Store Day only in 2021. Like I said, I got to tell them, Mrs. Metalhead will find stuff. Why I'm looking at other things, and she'll come back with a stack of stuff, and things she finds just blows my mind. I showed you guys the original Mermaid 30th anniversary of it, sealed, not open, except for me catching it on something. I caught it on something. I opened it by accident, but that's the original. Didn't. I tell everybody, if you get past the house alarm, you'll be lucky. If you get past Jack's or Shepherd Rock Mix, you'll be even luckier to even get in. If you get past Mrs. Metalhead, and once you get in, you're not going to leave. But yeah. Oh, Ange, Fraggle Rock original soundtrack reissued. I think this one 2021, I believe. But this was for the one on when they decided to put them on Apple TV. Mrs. Metalhead's a big, fan of Disney, Fraggle Rock, things along that line. Oh, she does, Patrick. It's mind blowing. Yeah, steak and orange fish. Yeah, but that was the Disney part, all right. But like I said, Mrs. Metalhead finds things out of the blue. That's why when I went to that place Saturday, she said do something. So I started live streaming it. I'm gonna go back there. There's so much stuff in that place. I mean, a ton. I mean, I could spend hours there. I mean, there was people that were going through stuff and they saw me recording and they didn't want to bother me. But they had 2 other locations. All right, I'm gonna get into a little bit more newer stuff from like late 90s, 2000s. This is mainly soundtracks and remixes. Mr. Metalhead found this. A lot of you people might know Amy Winehouse. Great lead singer, great vocalist. Again, another one that passed away way too young. This is the remixes of some of her hits, unopened. Mrs. Metalhead found this. There's just so many remixes of her stuff on this. It's I think this is double vinyl. Yeah. Double vinyl. Yeah, side A, side B, side C, side D. This is just a bunch of remixes of a lot of her stuff that wasn't available here in the U.S. You name the song, it's probably on here. Back to Black is a remix of it. The song Rehab, which I actually love that song by her. They do remix of that. The song You Know I'm No Good. Ghostface from Wu-Tang is on this one. She also did a couple with Jay-Z. I think that's on here too. It should be. Yeah. Yep. It's just, this is very something to have by her. Her albums are being reissued, I believe, by her management, and I believe by UMC, if not Capitol Records has the rights to her music now, I believe. She was one of those ones too that went way too soon. I don't know the exact details of it with her, but a lot of people did say, she did relapse a lot towards the end. Just a young singer, not metal related, but metal or music in general. She had that. She had that almost like a early '80s, like a jazz type sound to her. Believe it or not, that's what I call it. Um, that beautiful voice, that deepness of her voice. You know, like I said, just another performer gone way too. Yeah, Patrick. She was. She was. I think the. I think the fame got to her too quick. Um, I think she didn't expect her material and her albums like to take off and to be received by people the way it was. Um, I just think she got into that rock star thing like a lot of them do. And it grabbed her, and she just, fell into that limelight spotlight. I'm a big artist now. It's a shame. You know, a lot of the good ones aren't here no more. A lot of the good young ones from different genres. Yeah, she was 27. There's a lot coming out that came out. There's supposed to be a documentary coming out. I know there's a couple of them that came out, but there's supposed to be another one coming out about her and her music and the trial and tribulations in her life. I believe it's supposed to come out on Netflix. I'm not sure about that. It might be YouTube or Hulu. I know Reels TV, the channel Reels, they have documentaries on there a lot about past artists. Next one is one of my favorite movie soundtracks of all time. The original Crow soundtrack with Brandon Lee. The original soundtrack, unopened, unplayed, double disc. This one I will not open. It has a crow etching. The crow is etched into the vinyl. So it basically goes all the way across. It's etched into it. When Mrs. Metal had picked this up, there's another one she picked up. I'm looking at it right now. I almost hit the floor. I have this on CD, I believe, also. I think I have it on CD. It should be behind me. Absolutely amazing movie. I love this movie. This is one movie I do not want them to play with. I don't want them to redo it. Leave it as is. Brandon Lee was incredible. Great actor, great movie. This soundtrack, when it came out, it blew me away. I think this is one of the best soundtracks, metal-wise, ever. But one of my favorite soundtracks ever is a horror movie called Faust, Faust. It's all death metal. That's a hard one to find, as is the movie. I think Miss Metal had found it on Amazon, but it's only European setup. You gotta find the US or it's not gonna play. She found me Deep Cover, the DVD. The first one we got wouldn't play. It was for Europe, so I had to reorder it and find a US version of it. But this soundtrack is absolutely amazing. Great movie, even better soundtrack. You have The Cure on here, Stone Temple Pilots, Nine Inch Nails, Rage Against the Machine, Rollins Band, Helmet, Pantera, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, who I actually love, old school Jesus and Mary Chain, great alternative, man. But this movie, this soundtrack, this is the original, absolutely amazing. This is gonna take some people back. The original first print First edition, Tales from the Crypt soundtrack. One disc. This is original. You won't find this lying around at any Walmart, Target, or anywhere. First time on vinyl. Before that, it was only available on tape and CD. It's on Big Screen Records, I believe. Yeah, Big Screen Records. We have we have the original Tales from the Crypt, the box set. It was corny back then, but it was funny. I actually love the soundtrack, how they did it. It's just different. It's different parts from each episode, basically, that they just threw in. Yeah. I love the Gatekeeper. Just how they made him in that series was absolutely hilarious for the most part. And the things he said, I think it came out with 91, I believe, 1991. And I think it was like 16 or 17 when that came out. And it was on, I think it was Comedy Central or MTV at like 10 o'clock at night. This was another show that they wouldn't play at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They played it late at night because they didn't want kids under a certain age watching it. Because it scared people. It was satanic. Okay. It was funny. Emily. Emily, that's what I looked like when I woke up when I had long hair. When I was disturbed, when I was sleeping, when I had long hair. That was me. Okay. One of my favorite. Okay. There's no secret. I'm also into rap. One of my favorite movies, Above the Rim, came out in '94, starring the late great Tupac. This is the original soundtrack. Mrs. Metal had found this. This is a double disc, unopened. It has a lot of great '90s rap on here. A lot of hip hop, some R&B. Great movie. I love this movie. She found this. I was like, huh? But, whether people this was produced by Suge Knight. I'm sure a lot of you guys know the story behind Suge Knight. All the issues, the killing of Pac, the attempted killing of Dre. I think Suge Knight had a lot to do with it. There's a story about I think it was Vanilla Ice. Yeah, White Boy Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice was involved with Suge Knight in some illegal stuff, to say the least. Rumor has it Vanilla Ice tried stealing money from Suge Knight and his crew at Death Row Records. It was in LA. Supposedly he hung. It's not funny, but when it first happened, I was like, you got to be kidding me. He hung, literally, Suge Knight and two of his goons hung Vanilla Ice off a balcony 80 stories up by his ankles. Yes. To say Vanilla Ice got the crap skin out of him, literally he did. Yes, they almost dropped Vanilla Ice from 80 stories up in a California high rise. But this soundtrack is an amazing soundtrack. A lot of good artists on this one. A lot. But as for Suge Knight, if anybody knows the story with NWA, he was involved in that. last I heard, he's still doing time in Pelican Bay, I believe, in California. Another producer, owner of a record company that let the drugs and money get to his head, being a gangster. Look what that ended him. Yeah. He's I think Vanilla Ice wanted in to do a lot more in the industry because Vanilla Ice had what? I don't even remember. My sister used to listen to him. I think he had what, 2 hits? That stupid Ice Ice Baby, whatever the hell it was called. Ice wanted more. He wanted to be a gangster. He wanted to be hardcore, which he was far from. In my opinion, he was a joke. But he wanted money. And I think he saw Suge Knight as the way to go, and he burned Suge Knight for some money. He really did. That's why he's not doing much now. I think he owns like a boxing gym or something somewhere. He did try starting his own label back in the early 2000s. That didn't last. I forgot what his real name is, Edward or something like that. In my opinion, he was a joke. There was another white boy that came out in the 90s. I forgot who it was, who also tried getting into some stuff, and he got nailed to the wall, basically. I forgot. I think his name was Snow or Ice or somebody. I don't even remember what his name was. But yeah, he had issues with Suge Knight also back then. Another one that we both found. I love the Halloween movies. Everything about them. The spooky music, the keyboards. This is the original soundtrack for Halloween Kills, unopened. Great. I just love the noises from this, the organs, the keyboards, the synthesizers that they use. Unopened. This is the second installment of the soundtracks. John Carpenter is one of my favorites of all time. Puts out great movies, great soundtracks. Definitely one of my favorite series of movies is Halloween. I absolutely love the soundtracks of this. Again, unopened. And I will not open it. This, like I said, if Miss Miller wants to open it, that's on her. I don't want to open them. Without a doubt. Yes, Robert, that's right. I knew he had some weird name. Yeah. Okay. I got a few things that are going to... Angie, you still here? One of my favorite shows growing up, and today we have the series in our DVD room. This is the original Munsters. Original Munsters soundtrack. Unopened, sealed. It's one disc. It has all the music from the Munsters. There was a band back in the late 80s, 90s it was a hardcore, a punk band from California named White Pigs. They did an exceptional cover of the Munsters theme. I got to find it. I've been trying to find this band forever, and I can't find them. My brother had it on vinyl on Combat Records. It's like 88, I believe 87. I'm dying to find that. But this is the original Munsters soundtrack. The original. Blue vinyl. This came out Record Store Day 2021. Blue vinyl, dark blue vinyl. And I think you could, it's like a dark blue. I think it like fades into like a light color so you can see through it. But definitely, I found it. We found it. I had to have it. I absolutely love the Munsters. Love them. I mean, I grew up watching them. And we got the full the full seasons of the Munsters on DVD. These three things I found Saturday at Newburgh Vintage Emporium. If you watch the stream, I was going through a bin that was like dollars. Everything in it was like $1. Mrs. Meadow had found it, and I just was like, huh? Ange, I'm sure you remember this. Treating if you were still here. Captain Kangaroo, the original Captain Kangaroo, tells stories. I was this was a little bit before my time. This came out in, oh God, I don't remember when this came out, but I remember watching it late 70s and 80s. Leela, do you remember this? I remember watching when it was still running until the 80s. I remember watching this in the morning on Saturdays. It's opened. Like I said, it was $1. It looks in good condition. There's some scratches, but nothing looks too deep. It's not warped. I spun it when I was there. I am getting a vinyl kit that basically you put on it. It comes like a little brush. It goes on, you put it on, and it smooths out the top where the music is. You just go over it lightly, and it fills in any like little scratches or like little imperfections. But yeah, kids, for people that don't know, that's vinyl. I make no thing about it. I love the way vinyl sounds. I love the crackling that it makes when it's playing. For me, I get high off of that, meaning I like the way it sounds. And then once it starts playing, you still have that crackling. That's authentic. That's how things back then sounded. Patrick, I don't want to ask. Nope. I am not going to ask. I don't want to know. I had a few names in high school. Mrs. Millhead knows. I'm not going to get with them. When people say that, I just say, nope. I don't want to know why. I can only imagine why. Yeah, so I like the old stuff, and I will be going back there. Ripped. Shit. Damn it. No, go back in for now. Come on. I will be going back to that place. They have a ton of stuff, and I got permission to film there from she's like a manager owner of the place, one of them. So I plan on going back there. I want to go back in a couple of weeks, but we'll see. I'm also December. We are going to Trenton. I am going to do a live stream at the Trenton Punk Rock Flea Market. I think I mentioned it on one of my streams. They have it 3 times a year. We just missed this one. Which is no big deal. Patrick, remember the band Guar? They're going to be at this flea market now that we're going to in December. They're going to be in costume and out of costume. I only wish Brocky, rest your soul, was there. I love Guar. I plan on getting interviews with him. I want to get a couple things signed. This is what I want to do with this channel. And I be getting frustrated, needless to say, over things that I can't control. Like when I did the pop-up stream from this Saturday from here, Miss Miller said, "Do it. You got your phone." Granted, I didn't have my gimbal, because I didn't know that we were going here. I think for now on, I'm going to keep both my gimbals charged and just put them in my backpack. So in case we go anywhere, I have my battery backups with me. But I'm going to start going to places more. Like the place down the street from me called Rock Fantasy. My friend Steve owns it. And he also owns a place called Quinn Pins, which is a bowling alley, basically. But they have concerts there. A lot of big names play there. Local bands, too, from New York. A lot of death metal bands, hardcore bands, thrash bands play there. All local. Yeah. December 14th. Yeah, I didn't know that we were even going there. She just said we were going somewhere. You know, it was Saturday. You know, it was starting to downpour here. You know, and we just said we were gonna go out, and that was the same day that Saturday. I took her apple picking also. Which, Ange, if you're on still, you got to go to Soon's Farm. Mrs. Middlehead can text you the info. If you want to meet us there, we'll meet you there. They have a little country store there. Everything is freshly made on site. I had a blueberry scone. Oh my God. Out of this world. Out of this world. And the apple patch is like right down the road. They also have pumpkin picking there coming up in October. But the donuts they had, oh, Madone. Yeah. Oh, didn't she had a blast. You know, I'm just glad she got out and had a ball. Because her ex-husband didn't want to do crap with her. And I told her, we're back up here. There's places to go. We're going. You know. See, I have a soft side. You know. I don't mind going and doing things like that. You know. Hell, I'm almost 50 years old. So why would I care? But yeah, I got a soft side. About that big soft side. Just, you know. Anyways. Oh, Ange. Leela. Remember the Electric Company? The show? This is the original soundtrack to that show. The original. Has two sides. This is on the original Disneyland Records. This came out in... Yeah, you can see why I got it for $1. The original glue that goes right here on the spine of it came apart. I got glue. I just run a little bead on it and bang, it's fine. But that's the original. That's the original Electric Company. Patrick, you might want to stick around. I got a whole thing of metal coming up that you're going to want to see. But this is the original. I remember watching this, you know, when I was like real tiny, like a toddler. I remember watching this show. It has the theme song, the old Double E. I remember that. Easy Reader, the sign song. My name is Kathy. And I think this was the first pornographic type thing. There's a title, Hard, Hard, Hard. I'm telling you, 1960s, 70s porn for kids, right there. I'm telling you. And they wonder why our generation is a little messed up in the head. That's why. Putting hard, hard, hard on a kids thing. Oh boy. See? And they wonder why we're all screwed up. Mrs. Middlehead found this Saturday, and I grabbed it from her. The original Flashdance. I love this movie. I remember watching it when I was a kid. Welcome back. This came out, I think, 83 when the movie came out. It's the original Flashdance. If you guys don't remember this movie, which I'm sure some people don't, this movie should be on Netflix or Hulu. This is like one of those original dance movies from back in the 80s, like Footloose was. Um, when when she grabbed this, I was like, "You got to be kidding me! We got it for $1." I couldn't believe it. Yeah, Din did. Tell me about it. I was like, I think I was like, I want to say I was like 7, maybe 8 when this first came out. So yeah, I just remember I just remember my sister dancing with her friends in my parents' living room back then. Um, you had Irene Cara on here, Shandi, uh, Joe Esposito, just a lot of like 1980s alternative 80s singers on here. Donna Summer was on here with Romeo. One of my favorite songs from the 80s, Seduce Me Tonight by Cycle 5. And Michael Cimbello. It's just, this is one of those movies that, a lot of people, I always say the 80s and 90s had the best movies that came out then, because this is what it was like back in the 80s and 90s. Movies had soundtracks back then. And I mean great soundtracks. And a lot of times the soundtrack came out way before the movie even hit. Back then it was VHS. Yes, VHS. I have a couple of those lying around somewhere. But the soundtracks were great. Every movie from the 80s and 90s had exceptional, mind-blowing soundtracks. It didn't matter what it was. Mallrats had an insane soundtrack. Last Action Hero, The Crow, which I just showed on vinyl. Less Than Zero, my favorite movie from '86. Clerks, I love Clerks. We have that on DVD, and I'm sure everybody knows the story behind Clerks. That was us back in the '90s. That movie, Clerks, yeah. Empire Records had a phenomenal soundtrack. Singles. Yeah, didn't tell me about it. I'm seeing these soundtracks now, and like all these songs are coming back to me now. Yeah, there was nothing like getting a movie back in the 80s and 90s and having a great soundtrack. The soundtrack is what sold that movie, because you going to the theater and you're hearing the songs during that movie, and you're bobbing your head just singing along to them. Now it's like the movies now don't have that great soundtrack. A lot of them don't have soundtrack at all, which I think is mind blowing. As I said, 80s, 90s, and part of 2000s, early 2000s had great soundtracks, great movies. Now it's all AI generated crap. Oh God, Footloose. Mrs. Meadow just watched that. About a week ago, it was on like AMC or something. It was on, and she watched it. That movie was a trip, because I had a crush on that blonde that he was trying to hook up with, the deacon's priest, whatever the hell he is. His daughter was hot. Oh yeah, especially back in the 80s. Oh yeah. All right, I found this for Mrs. Metalhead. Probably about a year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago. One of my guilty pleasures in music is Eric Clapton. I love Eric Clapton to death. I love all his material. This is Crossroads. This is very, very early Clapton, and I mean early. It's a 4-disc set. It has everything from things that he put his hands on, that he sang on. The Yardbirds, Cream, Blind Faith, Delaney and Bonnie and Friends, Derek and the Dominoes. Then it has him with his stuff. 4-disc set. I love Eric Clapton. Love Eric Clapton to death. you'll find a lot of metalheads that say the same thing. They don't just listen to metal. I say if you listen to a certain type of music, it's great because it's your passion. You're into that music. But I always said, think out of the box. I said, a lot of people back then called you a poser because you cut your hair, because you were into other music. Sorry, but hair has nothing to do with music. Of course, back then, 80s, 90s, metal hair, long hair, I had it. And then I ended up cutting mine. I think the first time I cut my hair, I was 2004, I think. And then 2005, I ended up growing it out again. Then I had it long for like 2 years. I cut it again. And then from 07 or 08 to like 15, actually, Mrs. Middlehead might have pictures of me from my Facebook. Yeah, with me with long hair. And then there's a side-by-side of me with long hair and short hair the day I cut it. I cut my hair in 2015. That was the last time I had long hair. A lot of people say, oh, you got long hair. Long hair really doesn't define you in any way at all, no matter who you are. That's the for this set right there. I love Eric Clapton. I think he is one of the most incredible guitar players and lead singers and songwriters ever. And I mean ever. I can listen to Clapton all day. And I mean all day. Clapton is like Sinatra to me. You grab a bottle of scotch, you grab a bottle of whiskey, it's just his songs just take it to a whole nother place. Much like that other guy, I forgot his name. Shit. Ooh, excuse my language. Patrick, the other guy. Actually, Leela, you too. I didn't. He made the hottest videos with the chicks, with the body, with the tight dress, with they're playing the keyboard, the guitars. No, not yeah, Kenny G, get out of here. Ugh. Yeah. Give me a break. Ugh. Not Kenny G, no. Yeah. No, I forgot his name. Thank you. Robert Palmer. Thank you. Yes, it was on the tip of my tongue. I couldn't remember his name. Him also. One of the most talented musicians ever. He made some of the best speakeasy type music. Like a little sit down type music. Palmer and him side by side, two of the best. Those are guilty pleasures. Another collector of mine, a friend of mine, that I just bought some stuff from, told me, if you enjoy it, it's not a guilty pleasure. It's a pleasure just listening to it. And I thought about that. It's true. You could be into a certain type of music, but you could also be into other types. It doesn't matter. As long as you like it and have a passion for it, who cares? That's what I say. Granted, there are some types of music I can't stand. Needless to say. And there's some bands I cannot stand. Don't do no. Kenny G reminds me of like sitting in an elevator for like 24 hours and just going up and down. There's only so much flute you can handle and take. It's like listening to Michael Bolton for a month. Yeah. I can't. No. It's like I said, elevator music, up and down, up and down, up and down. Ugh. Well, saxophone. No, was that saxophone? See? No, he played the thing too. That long thing. Anyways. Oh, I forgot one. Disney movie. Cruella. 101 Dalmatians. Very good soundtrack. I was surprised about this soundtrack. Mrs. Metalhead found this. And I didn't realize who was on this soundtrack. And me and her watched the movie a number of times. Supertramp is on this. Bee Gees, The Doors. This, by the way, this is a double vinyl. There's two vinyl. I think it's a black and white vinyl. It's a black and white swirl vinyl. So it's like a both colors are on one. It's like a marble basically. But you got Ike and Tina Turner on here. Georgia Gibb, The Clash, Blondie, who I absolutely love. Doing One Way or Another. You got Stone Cold Crazy by Queen. But yeah, it's I think Disney made some of the best soundtracks for their movies. Because let's face it, Disney had to be kid friendly. But they make some of the best soundtracks out there. And they're still doing it. Like I said, the ones I got that Miss Miller had found, they're rare. Most of them were only printed twice. Only came out on Record Store Day in 2021. But yeah, those soundtracks are in my opinion are just iconic with with how they do it. It's a lot of artists that you hear only on the radio. Yeah, mainstream. But for them to do this, I think it's awesome. And I mean, having them in my possession, unopened, especially that Frozen and Frozen 2, yeah. All right. This one, some of you guys might remember a couple of these bands. There's a band called Mystic with Billy Sheehan in it, Ted Nugent, who I can't stand. They were big late 70s, 80s, even 90s, 2000s. They just put out, this came out a couple years ago, a whole entire single collection. It's called Lean Into It, the singles. There's, I think, 35. It's five individually 7-inch vinyls, different colored. They only made 2 copies or 2,000 copies of this. This is copy 725. I hope you guys can see that. It's right there. Right there. 725 of 2,000. So yeah, this is definitely a collector's item that I will not open. I think I popped it open just to see what was inside. But yeah, Mr. Big, another band, hard rock. That song, the song "To Be With You." I think I said it. I think I told you guys a story about me, Mrs. Metalhead. That's mine and her song. That song will always be mine and her song. Speaking of that song, it's off of Lean Into It, the classic Mr. Big. We got this on vinyl. They only made 5,000 of these. This is number 1251 of 5,000. This is the 30th anniversary of it. It comes with a couple bonus tracks. But our song "To Be With You," I told her in 1991, like when I first heard it, whatever it was. Yeah, 91. I told her in high school. That's our song. And it's been our song since 91. So yeah. I mean, I think it's one of those great underlooked, rock albums. Not heavy metal, far from heavy metal. It's more of a hard rock Billy Sheehan is in this. I think Billy Sheehan is one of the most underrated guitarists of all time. He's in a band now with Richie Kotzen and Mike Portnoy from Gene Third. They're in a band called the Winery Dogs. They're working on I think they're working on like their 4th album. Now, I got 3 of their albums somewhere over there. Winery Dogs, again, if you like hard rock with like a little contemporary sound and nice guitar work, clean vocals, like a progressive type vocal, that's very close to Mr. Big, to be honest with you. If you guys remember Mr. Big from the 90s, they're not that hard stuff. They're, contemporary, slow, little edgy, but nothing big. Ted Nugent was in there for a little bit. He's not anymore. He was in a band called Damn Yankees back in the day. I don't like Ted Nugent much. Ted Nugent put out some quality stuff back in his day. Good guitarist, if not one of the best, but I personally, on a personal level, I do not like him at all. I don't like Ted Nugent at all. I have my reasons. I'm not going to get into it with anybody because it's too political. I don't like him. I think he's an idiot. Point blank. I'm going to leave it at it. If anybody knows about Ted Nugent and his, commercials and things like that, if they follow him on Instagram, you know what I mean about him. He's an idiot, to say the least. All right. One of my favorite bands, Motorhead. Everybody knows it. This is the 40th anniversary limited edition. This came out 2 years ago. This is a combination of Motorhead and a band called Girl School. This is the St. Valentine's Day Massacre collection. I'm not going to open it. It's sealed. You see it right there. It's not opened at all. Lemmy is my favorite. Rest so I miss Lemmy. I've been vocal about Lemmy. This came out originally, I think this, if I'm not mistaken, this is a reissue from 2021. The original of this came out in 1981. That's a very young Motorhead and Girl School on there. That's Filthy Phil right there, Mickey D, and this guy right here. That's Lemmy. These 3 guys are the classic Filthy Phil, Lemmy. Those are that's the original. And I'm sorry, Mickey D right there. The original Motorhead. That's the guys from Girl School right here. Another Girl School is from New York. They're one of the original glam bands. Like they were, them and Twisted Sister back in the day used to tour a lot together. It was always Twisted Sister and Girl School touring all over the place. This came out as a reissue, record store day only, 2021. I say, if you find this anywhere, Patrick especially, get this. This is out of print. Mrs. Metalhead won't tell me how much she paid for it because the day she got this, again, I was looking at other things. And the place that we went to called Hog Wild Records down in San Antonio, we were good friends with the owners and the entire staff there. And she would tell them to hold stuff without me knowing. And we would go there. I was going to get all their stuff, and she would pay for it without me knowing. I believe she got me this for either Christmas or my birthday. I don't remember. But yeah, I love Motorhead. Motorhead is my favorite, up there with Maiden, Sabbath, and Slayer. I miss Lemmy a ton. And no, there will never be another. Before anybody says anything, don't count on no Motorhead coming back. There's not going to be a Motorhead. Motorhead was and always will be Lemmy. You cannot replace Lemmy. Nobody can replace Lemmy. Motorhead is over. I miss Lemmy, but they are reissuing stuff. They're coming out with a 40th anniversary of something. I want to make sure it's going to Filthy Phil and Mickey D or Lemmy's son before I even buy it. I know, didn't I know I don't. There's some things I don't remember about. Wait, what's that? Oh yeah, Patrick, I got a whole stash out in my garbage can, broken up, burned. Yeah, that's what that is. All right, this is a band called Dissection from Sweden. One of my favorite death metal bands from Sweden. This came out in 2022. This was limited to I think it was 500 of these, and this is copy 130. It's a 2-song EP vinyl. It's called Rebirth of Dissection. Orange vinyl, 7-inch, just like that. This album was back in the day. This is a typical 7-inch where you have like 2 songs on it. This one has a couple. This is like from one of their EPs they first came out back in the 90s. Mahakalai, Swedish metal at its best. I've mentioned these guys before in past streams. That just came out. I'm going to try to cover the artwork on this as much as I possibly can. This is a reissue on Red Slushy vinyl. It's supposed to be like blood. Band called Cannibal Corpse. Patrick, I'm sure you know why I'm covering it. Tomb of the Mutilated, my favorite album by them. I'm not going to mention any of the song titles. They're very gory. Death metal, hard-hitting death metal, melodic sometimes. They write about stuff, horror, put it that way. That's how I'm going to put it. They've been around, God, this came out 92, I believe, 91, if I remember. Yeah, 92. I think this album, I'm not going to show that. This album propelled them. They're originally from Buffalo, New York, but they moved down to be part of that Florida death metal scene, which I think Florida death metal scene is some of the best death metal out there. Produced by the iconic Scott Burns at Scott Burns Studios down in Florida. Made some of the most iconic death metal albums out there. Again, Cannibal Corpse, one of my favorite. This is the reissue on Metal Blade Records, I believe. It's a red vinyl slushy type look to it. I haven't opened it. I'm not gonna open it. This is one album I will not open. I have it on CD and tape, I believe. This is Pantera, one of my favorite bands of all time. Recordings, Dimebag, Vinny. I miss them to death. This is my favorite album by them, Far Beyond Driven. This is the original cover for this album. As you can see, it says it right there. The sticker there somehow got ripped off. This came out. This is reissued double disc on Rhino Records. Far Beyond Driven. Patrick, I'm sure you remember them. This is my favorite album by them. This album was the only album for a metal band that peaked at number one for any metal band in history. It peaked at number one on the Big Bull, the top 40 back in the day. They had to change this cover, like most bands have to. They had to change the cover because it's too graphic. I got it over there. Basically, they changed the drill bit cover into going to a skull on the new cover of this album. I saw this at FYE and I picked it up. This is the original version of this album. That's no place that's getting back into selling CDs and vinyl. FYE. They didn't have a huge selection of them when we went, and that's when they first started reselling them. I don't see FYE selling like they used to. FYE at one point used to be the go-to for a lot of people. They would have great selections, and they had divided up. They had pop and rock, dance, Latino, reggae. And they had a whole, literally 2 rows of metal, and they were fairly priced too. They had a great used section back then. But this is Pantera. This is the reissue version. My favorite album by them. As for Pantera playing now, I heard they're great. I saw them on here. I didn't go see them live. I can't go see them live. For me, I love Pantera, but I miss Dimebag and I miss Vinnie Paul. You know, seeing Phil Anselmo singing their songs with Rex, Charlie Benante, and Zach Wilde, it's great. I watched the videos of them. I watched the live concerts on here, but I can't get myself to go see them because I miss the original Pantera that much. But definitely, reissue's great. This is what their album was. Patrick, you remember King Diamond, right? The original King Diamond, No Presents for Christmas. The original. This was reissued on Record Store Day. Mrs. Metal had found this for me. Front and back, you have on side one, you have the iconic cover of King with the reindeer. No presents for Christmas on this side. Side two is the classic song Karen. This is this version came out in 85 or 86, right in between Fatal Portrait and Abigail. Another iconic lead singer, period. They're coming out with a new album. King's working on a new King Diamond album, and the return of Merciful Fate. I can't wait for them. Patrick, probably 2025 for both. King Diamond's album was supposed to come out this year, but I'm not sure about it. But definitely, he's working on Merciful Fate, new one. That's supposed to come out 2025. I can't wait for that. I got a couple more. And a couple more I want to do. Patrick, the original Type O Negative. The first Type O Negative, Slow, Deep, and Hard. Double vinyl. This is my favorite. This one I did open up, and I'm smacking myself now for it because the poster for this is hanging up on my wall up there. Green vinyl. I get it open. Green vinyl with the iconic Type O Negative symbol, which is right there on my arm, right there. I'm getting it colored in. I'm getting my tattoo the same color as that as the vinyl. Iconic album. Great album, moody album. It was their first album since Carnivore. It's just one of those albums. It grabs you. It grabs the listener. There's some songs that are experimental on here, but it was the changing of the time back then, especially in the 90s. I seen these guys. I seen Type O Negative many times. Many times. They had for the longest time, they had a Halloween show going on. Every Halloween, they would play at Toad's Place in New Haven. And I would go all the time. All the time. Another one that was gone way too soon, Pete Still. Another one. I miss them. I have all their. I'm gonna be doing a discography on Type O Negative coming up. I'm gonna do few things, but mainly going out to shops. I got a couple more, and then we'll call it. Reissue of Mob Rules picture disc and Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath picture disc. These two things were record store exclusives only. I have the originals of them over here, right behind me, and I also have the reissue of this. They did a reissue of CD and vinyl for both albums. Both are classic Sabbath albums. Ronnie James Dio does an amazing job on both albums. I miss Ronnie. A lot of people don't realize Ronnie was with them for about 4 albums. Then he went back to Dio and Sabbath. Ozzy came back, left. Dio came back. Ian Gillan was in the fold for a little bit. Speaking of Ian Gillan, Deep Purple is working on a new album. They're still touring. I didn't realize that. New Deep Purple is coming out soon. I'm dying to hear that album. But yeah, got these both record store day. Both are front and back picture discs for Sabbath. In my opinion, two of Sabbath's most iconic albums. Mob Rules, Heaven and Hell with the classic Angels, Smoking. Man, like I said, they did a reissue of vinyl and CD. I have the CD of this over on the Sabbath shelf over there. Yeah, just great stuff. The original Slayer Live Undead EP. I have this on CD. I have the original on CD. This was recorded live at Hammersmith Ballroom or Hammerstein Ballroom in New York back in '84. This is the original Live Undead. I'm not opening it. Recorded in 1984 on their Haunting North America tour, which back then was Haunting the Chapel. Original artwork, black vinyl, 100-gram black vinyl, which means it's a like a dull, almost shiny diamond type color for the vinyl. I love Slayer. I'm working on getting every Slayer in every format. I got them all CD. I got most of them on vinyl. I'm working on getting the tapes for them. I want to have every format of Slayer. Original Slayer, Show No Mercy. One of the first Slayer albums I heard growing up. This came out in 84, 85. No, 81. Yeah, 81, 82. One of the first songs I ever heard by them was Black Magic and Evil Has No Boundaries. Great album. I still play this daily. Great album. And then No One by Slayer, reissue. I have this on. I have both reissues on CD and the mat. They're original of Hell Awaits on CD. This is their record store day for 2021 reissue. This came out in '85. This album, now mind you, like I said, I heard Slayer before. When I heard this album, I was 10 years old. The beginning to Hell Awaits with the demon talking, it scared the shit out of me. Oop, feel me? It scared me. And it kept me listening. This is one of the most incredible releases for any band. But it's funny because this is their second release. Their best album, everybody calls the best thrash album, was their third release, their fourth album, Rain of Blood. But this album, the production on this, I still say is some of the best production. It's raw. It was great. These songs on this album also just classic Slayer. On this, you hear, on the early Slayer, you hear a lot of, their punk influence. Jeff Henneman, rest in peace, was very highly inspired by Cryptic Slaughter, DRI, Ramones, the Cramps. Then you have a combination of that with you have the sound of Metallica in there, Venom, Possessed. I still say out of the top four, the big four: Slayer, Metallica, Anthrax, Megadeth. Slayer put out the best album, in my opinion, for '86 with Rain of Blood. But there's just, that's most of my vinyl. I got a couple others which I'm going to do later on, but that's a lot of my vinyl stuff that I have. Robert, how you doing, brother? Air Supply. Speaking of them, the place that I was at, Newburgh Vintage, on Saturday, there was some classic old school Air Supply vinyl. Very first pressing of them. I was amazed. I'm going back there. I'm gonna do a live stream from there because there was so much stuff there. They had a cabinet. If you watch the live stream, they have a cabinet that had original Kiss CDs in there and vinyl. They had the original Kiss. When each of them did their separate albums, they had it was Dressed to Kill, original Dressed to Kill on vinyl in there. Just that place had a ton of stuff, and I mean a lot of vinyl. But I'm definitely gonna talk to my friend Steve, who owns Rock Fantasy, which is like 5 minutes from my house. I'll definitely go there. I'm probably gonna spend hours in that place. It's all metal. He has one whole wall full of vinyl, top to bottom. He has one whole section of all CDs, used, new. Like I said, it's a pinball shop. He has pinball tournaments there. The whole back of the building of the shop, it's all pinball machines. And then he also sells CBD and things for your pot or whatever. Ton of shirts he sells there. He also runs a place called Quinn Pins, which they have local shows. There's shows coming up. I think October. Now I'm thinking about going to with Mrs. Metalhead. But all right, guys, I want to thank you for coming in. I hope you enjoyed this. I was talking to Mrs. Metalhead about doing it, about showing off the vinyl. And she's like, "Yeah, do it." And that's what I was saying about collecting. You could be into a certain type of music, but for me, collecting, it evolves. There's so much out there, whether it's metal, hard rock, all different genres of metal, Disney, like the alternative stuff, the oldies, like the ones I have, like the old television, the old TV stuff. That blew me away when I found that. The Munsters, that blew me away. I did see the original Jetsons vinyl there for kids. I want to see what's on that. That looked interesting. But guys, thank you again. Din, Robert, Patrick, whoever's still left in there, Cleo, thank you. And Treaton, Mrs. Miller, thank you for Emily for coming in. I deeply, deeply appreciate. Oh, one more thing. Patrick, you weren't in here when I show this. Patrick, that's the original 1965 Beatles Help album. I found it on CD at that place. The original. I'm not going to say how much I paid for it because I basically robbed them of what it's worth. And the original 1976 Monty Python Live on both on CD. I almost flipped when I saw these, especially that Beatles. That's their first press of that album. Again, Din, thank you. I appreciate you coming in. I really do. I will be on tomorrow for a little bit. I might come on 9/11. I'm not sure. Everybody knows how I'm very 9/11. I just like to take time to reflect on 9/11, which a lot of us New Yorkers and tri-state people do. I might be on tomorrow, but definitely tomorrow. Shoot me ideas of what you want me to do, either on Discord or on Instagram. I plan on doing a couple of things. I plan on doing a 1991 metal thing because I think 91, 93 were the two best years for metal in the 90s. I'm putting together a whole thing about that, a whole thing. But again, thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate the support. If you like this stuff, please smash that like button. Please share my channel all you want. Take care of yourselves. Have a good day. Be safe. And as I always say, stay hard, stay heavy, stay brutal, stay metal. If you're in the middle, wave that middle flag. Take care of yourselves. And as I say, if you're going to do something, make it count. The Bulldog Metalhead Warrior says thank you. I am out. Later.